Here we are. Hi folks, this is Tim Kovar, looking again at digital imaging and using applications to manage your photos. This week's exercise for the students is to create a 3-picture story, and I want those images exported to specific file types. I need one set as JPEGs that we can use on the internet, and I need one set of those 3 images as .tif files. That's tagged image file format. And they're a standard file type for printing use. Right? So from our catalog in Lightroom, we can export those images specifically for these purposes. Okay. So I've been going through my catalog and I picked out a few images, and you can see one here. It's from Etretat in France. And I made a quick collection over here that I pulled a few sample images into that I thought I might use. So here's one of those. And in this case, what I want to do is make a picture story about our trip to Etretat, going with number 1, number 2, and number 3, just as a simple little story. Okay. So there's lots of ways you can do this, but in this case I'm going to export them one at a time. Often you can do it as a batch, but this is a simple way, and we'll get to repeat the exercise so you can see the steps over and over again. Okay, so image number 1, you can see my file naming convention for my Lightroom catalog. I'm going to go up here to the File menu, down to Export, and it's going to give me this nice dialog box with lots of stuff. Some things that we don't need exactly, but we'll go through them all. All right. So where am I exporting to? I'm exporting to a specific folder, and I've called that folder on my desktop Lightroom Exports. All right, so it's going to end up inside my desktop 3-picture story Lightroom Exports. Okay. Now, how do I need to name that file? On this Custom Settings tab, I need to change that. So I'm going to go to the Edit button, and it says to me, okay, Kovar Tim, last name, first name, and this is my Etretat story, and it's actually the second version of this. So I'm going to do Etretat 2 story, and this is the first image of that. I'm going to name them 01, 02, and 03. All right, so that's the file name. It's not a video, so I don't need to worry about that. And now on the file settings, it gives me the options of JPEG, PSD, TIFF, DNG. In this case, I want a TIFF. Okay. Color space, standard for print output, is Adobe RGB. And the compression and bit depth will be useful for specific purposes, but I'll leave those alone for right now. Now, in the brief for our project, I've asked students to put the long edge at least 2,000 pixels. Now, standard digital cameras, some of them should be between 3,000 and 5,000 pixels, but we're not actually printing these. I don't need 5,000 pixels. But I've asked it to resize the long edge to 2,000 pixels. The short edge will be whatever the proportions amount to. And then the resolution specified in the brief as 240 pixels per inch. All these other tabs I don't need to worry about in this case. So that's got me set up. My first image should export, and beep, it gives us a little beep. Let's check this setting, and it should show up inside this 3-picture story, inside the Lightroom Exports folder, and Kovar Tim Etretat 2 story 01. Notice I did one a second ago just to make sure it works, and I forgot to change the number 2 in the file name because I have another Etretat story up here. So this is my second Etretat story. Alright, now once more. My number 2 image is this one right here, looking out at the cliff. I select that image, File, Export. Where is it exporting to? 3-picture story in the subfolder called Lightroom Exports. I'm renaming it So this already preset to 01, and I need to name this one. Not 01, but 02. That's the second version, or the second. TIFF file, long edge 2000 pixels, 240 pixels per inch. Unless you change that, those things should all stay the same. We hit that. Okay. Now the last one, I think that probably worked. Export. Whoops. Sorry, wrong button. File name. Change that to 03. Other settings have all stayed the same. Bing! Check that folder. And I've got Etretat Story 2, 01, 02, 03. So you can see what those are going to look like. People standing here looking at the cliff taking pictures. Someone standing here looking at the cliff taking pictures. But me, I like to get my feet wet. All right. Hope this works, and see you next time.